Okay. I believe we are live on Facebook, Rumble, Twitter, or X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, and Telegram. Folks, we have some breaking news. Charlie Kirk has been shot and is killed earlier today, and we also have news on a Evergreen high school, Evergreen, Colorado high school shooting that we're going to be getting into. A very, very tragic day for all of us as Americans. Um, so let me just get started with the disclaimer, and then we'll begin. The views expressed on this show are expressly the views of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views, beliefs, or opinions of News4us.world, its hosts, broadcasters, or affiliates. Remember, folks, always use your own discernment when viewing. We encourage our viewers to think for themselves. All right, folks, let me just switch over to my camera real quick and we'll begin. All right, hope everybody can see me. This is a really, really sad day for everybody. Charlie Kirk's been assassinated. We have video of a potential sniper on the roof running along the roof of the building that we got video of. We've got video of the event happening, and we also have some reporting and some video on an Evergreen, Colorado high school shooting that happened today as well. So, do you want to say a few words, Robin, and then Angie, before we get into the actual videos?
Where was he talking when he was shot today? Did it say? I didn't catch that.
Say what?
Did they say where he was when he was shot
It was in
today?
Utah.
He was
It
in
was in
Utah.
Utah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Robin? Unmute yourself.
I believe it was the university in Orem, Utah. And this is breaking news. I'm still looking at things. I'm going to send you something, Stephen, um, that is live now from Fox News. Let me see if I can get this to you.
Okay, sounds good. And in the meantime, I'll start. I'll just play one of the videos, first video. Just so I want to give everybody a heads up. If you have any children in the room, please escort them out now. This is not for young eyes. This is very, very graphic, and we're gonna play it once, and that's it. But I think it's important that we show what happened and what happens when we perpetuate lies about certain people and certain narratives and the kind of violence that can provoke when that is allowed to happen on the level that it's been happening. And it's an issue we need to really address, I think, at this point. So, and I think it's important. And I want people to see what happens when we allow this kind of bullshit. This is ridiculous. Charlie Kirk was a good man. He was a Christian. He was not a freaking racist nor a freaking homophobe. He was against transitioning children. And it makes me so fucking mad. I'm fucking pissed right now. This is fucking bullshit. And it's about time we fucking start talking about it and fucking address the fucking actual issue here. So with that being said, I'm gonna show this video once, and then we're gonna show the sniper video after that, directly after. So give me 1 second and make sure it's up here on the screen. You have children in the room, please escort them out now. They do not need to see this.
Not counting gang violence. Great. Not counting gang violence. Great.
Sorry about that. I had myself muted. Um, Before we get into the sniper video, I want to hear from each of you guys. Give some words, please.
Charlie Kirk was a warrior of words. He spoke eloquently, he spoke persuasively and convincingly about his beliefs, and he was an honorable man who strove to deal with each person without insulting, without cruelty, using rational and well-devised arguments, using factual information. He was an encyclopedia of factual information, and he knew inside and out the things that he was talking about. He could give you the statistics. He could quote the scriptures. He was an amazing human being, and who was doing his utmost to do the very best for those in his audience that he believed had been deceived and demonstrably had been deceived by the media and the government that they'd been listening to. And this, make no mistake, this was a political assassination. This was an individual who was shot because he was a powerful, true, compelling voice for basically for the right, for politics that are unpopular with radical leftists, and that are unpopular with certain billionaire interests that have tried to sabotage this country and still are trying to sabotage this country. And this isn't rhetoric. This is also provable by following the financial trails and learning about how how protests are staged and paid for, and protesters are brought in on buses, and these things that he spoke of. He was trying to improve our nation. He was trying to improve our country, and by all measurements, he was accomplishing what he set out to do, which was convincing college students to reconsider what they've been taught by left-leaning liberal policies, by left-leaning liberal teachers, by the establishment media. He was a voice that refuted all of those, and he refuted them well, and he refuted them clearly, and he changed minds because he was a reasonable man, and he spoke persuasively and calmly and with love to his audience. He never abused anyone. I never saw him cruel to any human being. And I've watched a lot of hours of Charlie Kirk debating with college students.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people claiming that he insults people and he's racist and all this other stuff. And I've seen a few of them perpetrated online too. And consider this: if that were true, you should be able to verify that, shouldn't you, by watching his videos, at least one. But he's not. He never does it. He's rational. He makes valid arguments, And so I'm just like, how? But I'm so sickened by how it's been his work has been twisted and lied about. That's bullshit. He fucking was encouraging open speech, free speech, debate, actual argument with valid arguments, rational arguments back and forth. And what does somebody do? They assassinate him. They shut him up permanently for what? Because they don't like what he says.
No,
Because
it's because that's how
they
powerful our
false
words
narrative
are.
that they've been told by the media that isn't even fucking true.
No, it's because that's how powerful our words are, and people should realize that by now. That that's how powerful we are.
You're
Right,
right.
right.
You're right.
Words are power. Our words have power, and well-chosen words have a tremendous amount of power.
And he had his words were chosen right. Like I watched quite a few of his things, and like you said, he was an elegant speaker. He just spoke with grace. It wasn't he never was like, I don't know how to put it, but he he just was elegant with his words, and that's how powerful we are. And they know that, but we don't know that. That's the problem.
Well,
Right,
I know that. You know that. Robin knows that, but I don't think many people do. I think a lot of people don't realize how powerful we are if we truly apply ourselves. And words do have power and meaning. And it's just we have to be. That's why we need to freaking be careful when it comes to freaking accusing people that we don't even freaking know of something that we had known nothing about just because we heard somebody else say it, and now a man is dead.
He spoke too much truth.
I agree. I agree.
right. Truth
And
telling
now
is
he's left
dangerous.
behind 2 daughters and a wife who are now going to grow up without a father.
Yeah.
It makes me sick to my stomach, and it makes me sick to my stomach. All these people on the left that are freaking celebrating this shit. Oh
Oh,
my
there was
god, dude!
one.
Can you imagine?
I saw a
Seen
video.
some of the videos?
I saw a video online of someone at the event who appeared to be celebrating, and it's heartbreaking to think that this is what we've come to. That if you disagree with someone and they are shot, they're taken away from their loved ones, they're taken away from the mother of their children, from their wife, from their parents, from their family, that's something to celebrate because their voice is stilled, because they can no longer say the things that you disagree with. What a reason for celebration this is. I don't
It's a
think
travesty.
that way, and I think we need to nip it in the bud. I think this
We do.
this is a this
We
is a
do.
disease in our culture to feel that to attack an individual with bullets because you can't argue with the truth that they're speaking because you don't have words that can defend your position because you're incapable of handling the fact that they're telling the truth and you don't want to hear the truth. It's absolutely criminal on every level, and anyone who's celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk is complicit in the crime
Yeah.
that because you're supporting the execution of those that you disagree with. And this is absolute communist China, communist Russia. This is the encroachment of communism in the United States. And it was something that I was warned about when I was a very young child. I'm almost 70, and I look back into the 60s when communism was the thing that we were all conditioned to run from, to hide from, to battle against. This was the cause, this was reason for wars, was to avoid communism because it becomes this tyranny of a few that dominate the minds and hearts of a population through force, not through persuasion, not through words, but through force. Their will is imposed on the civilization. And that civilization is reduced to a kind of slavery. And that is what is happening when people can no longer speak their mind in civil terms without risking being killed. It's
You
heartbreaking
know,
and infuriating.
it is. It's tragic and it's freaking sick. It's fucking sick. And whoever shot him, and I'm convinced it was a sniper, you they had it was one freaking shot. And they were dead on with their aim. They had to have training. because they aimed right for the jugular and the artery, and it blew it right out. If you look in the video, you could see it just pouring out, and when you see that, you know he's already dead. Unfortunately, but that's the medical truth of it. You really,
It was a,
as
it
much
was
as
a,
we may wanted to
it
hope,
was
he
a,
was already at that point. He was already dead. It was just another matter of time before it gave out.
it was
And
a
I suspect,
well-executed assassination by someone who obviously had high-level training.
yeah, military training, no doubt, had to be if they were sniping that good.
It would
All
appear so.
right,
The
any
situation seems like the
uh,
Trump
go
shooting.
ahead.
That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of exactly like that same setup.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it does.
it sure does. And I think it would be better to have more. And the problem in the world today is that truth is such a premium that it's hard to get truth about, for instance, the Trump shooting. Did we solve that? Do we know how? I
But we
mean,
didn't, and we need to.
there was such a breakdown in the defenses around the president that day that it made that whole thing possible. And
Hmm.
that would indicate that someone high level was involved in the planning and execution of that crime. And so it would be no stretch to me to imagine that this was a black op that was secretly arranged, funded, guided by dark forces in the shadow government. That would be my guess. And it's just a guess. I have no way to verify or know because the real information is so much and so often hidden from those who aren't directly involved. And that's by policy. It's
All
difficult to
right, so
see there.
we're gonna play it once here, and then we're gonna play at normal speed. Then we're gonna play it once in slow motion, and then I'm gonna zoom in with Windows magnifying tool, and then we're gonna play it zoomed in so I can point out where he is in case for those who can't really see that well. So here we go. Let me just full screen it real quick. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, folks. I had to open up the actual download link so it would let me do it half speed. All right, I'm gonna do it and zoom it in a little bit so we can see it better. Okay.
Doing a zoom on.
Can we all see it? Here, let me zoom it back up just one more notch. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna point at that. See right under my mouse cursor right there. All right, so we're gonna measure from there to that ledge, and then we're gonna pause it again here in a second and measure it. There it is again. It's somebody running across the roof, it looks like. There it is, right there. Boom, right there. Somebody's running across the roof. I'm gonna do it one more time, and then we'll discuss it. See right there, right above my mouse cursor. Right there, 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 And there, now he's behind that ledge. So
Stephen, it appears to me, from my perspective, like what you're pointing at is a reflection in the window. I'm not sure that you're.
no. I'm pointing. If you look right above on the roof, on the rooftop, on the roof
Yeah,
one here. Let me
I'm seeing a figure that is framed by a cloud. Is that what you're pointing at?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm pointing at.
Okay.
It's on the roof. It looks like it's on the roof, and it doesn't look like a reflection. It's a solid mass.
Yeah, but when you
Coloring doesn't match a
expand it,
reflection.
you're not on it right now,
I'm
and
not.
you're above it right now. You're
Am I
about
above
an
it?
inch above it.
Damn this. Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna freaking oh, it's not letting me do it freaking the way I want to. Hold on, let me just look at it on the live stream and see if I can line it up right. Hold on 1 second, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can see it now. Let me just zoom it in one more time.
It looked to me like that figure dodged to our left, to his right.
Correct. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna zoom it in one more time, one more factor, and get a real good replay for everybody. So just pay attention to the there we go.
Framed by the cloud at the top of the roof, right there. Who's left, right there. His right.
I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna space it out. Okay, so there it is right there, right above the tip of the mouse pointer.
No. Your mouse pointer appears to be pointing to a tree right now. If you go
Is
about
it? Okay, so
4
ignore
inches
that. Ignore
over
that. It's on the roof. It's okay. The zoom factor's not working properly on the screen share. That's what it is. Okay, so just here, we're gonna watch the little figure on the roof right there to the right of the tree, folks. A little dot.
there. Now you're right below him.
Am I right below it now?
Yes.
That's weird. It must have been off on the screen share. I mean, it's got some issues and bugs in it. Zoom does right now when you screen share on a live
He
and
hasn't
in a
really
meeting.
moved yet, but he's about to.
Yeah. Well, if you look right at the beginning, well, we're gonna watch it in slow mo. I wish it would let me do it 0.25 speed, but it won't.
Now he moved.
See, he's already moving. Look, he's already blurring in the next frame. See that right there? So he's already began dodging from that point.
Yeah.
They just happen to catch him, and this is right
And
after
there
the
he
shot.
moved. Yeah, he's moving. He's moving. Appears to be running, and he gets in that little there's a space between two structures. It looks like one's slightly higher than the other.
Yep.
Looks like that's what happens there.
One more time, folks, and then we'll talk about it. Okay.
Good Lord.
Thoughts, comments?
Yeah, obviously this is someone that knew what he was doing. He knew to get above the victim. He knew to how to get a clear line of sight. He'd scoped out the situation. He understood where he was aiming and where he needed to be in relation to that. This wasn't an angry college kid that whipped out a handgun. That's not what this was. This was something that was much, much better executed than someone with minimal or little training. And
Um, I have some inside information from a source that lives. Well, that's well, I'm just gonna say he's a source, he's a friend, but I'm not gonna say who he is because I don't want to put him at risk. But according to him, I just spoke with him a little bit ago, and he works at the MGM in a restaurant. I think it's the MGM, or no, it may be the DoubleTree Hill. Either way, he told me that yesterday there was a prominent politician, one of the ones that is always fear mongering at the casino where he works, and that they were saying that Charlie Kirk was going to be assassinated tomorrow. And this is yesterday. And actually, he just told me this today when I went to go get my mother her scripts from the store. I'm going to try and find out and verify with him who this person is, because if it's somebody he recognized, I bet you we can match it. And I'm going to see if we can get that name, because if that's the case, and the person that he's claiming is as high profile as they claim he is, that makes this a conspiracy.
Right. Which
That makes this a conspiracy without a freaking doubt.
just looking at how carefully planned and executed this assassination had to be, just looking at the professionalism of the job and the sequence of events, it would be my assumption that this isn't a lone shooter. This isn't just some crazy guy that decided I'm going to take this man out, but that this was planned and executed by a team, and that goes to conspiracy. And that's, I mean, I'm talking about stuff I have no knowledge of, but I'm deducing these things from the information that I do have, which is the videos that we're seeing right now.
Yep. Angie, any thoughts?
It's sad. It's really sad to see that people have come to this. I mean, we know if it's the government, we know it's like that. But if this is just some random person, that's really sad.
It's sad either way, really.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
One
Either
is,
way.
but they're each horrific in different ways. If it was some lone individual, that's a horrific thing that this is happening in our society, and that our culture has become one that would support and allow this kind of thing to happen, and that someone could be corrupted in their own thinking to the point where this would be an okay thing to do. If it was the government or at some high level agent acting on the behest of extraordinarily powerful people, then that is horrific, because we see how deep and strong the corruption is in this country, going after those who are speaking up, telling the truth, and waking up the population to the dangers and liabilities of the direction that we're headed.
Yep, absolutely. I'm going to play this last video here. It's about 39 seconds long. We're going to watch it one time, and then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to go into the next story, which is the Evergreen high school shooting in Evergreen, Colorado.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
It's 5. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Get down. What the fuck? No!
That is absolutely terrible.
Oh.
You know, those people are going to be traumatized now.
Are going to be what?
They're going to be traumatized. All those college students are
yeah.
going to be traumatized now.
Oh yeah, it'll be difficult for those people to go out in public without severe
Text it to me on
anxiety.
email or text message, Robin.
It's a text message to your phone.
I haven't gotten it yet. Try sending it again.
Okay. Yeah, it's a TikTok. What's the best place to send it? Right to your SMS, your Stephen Phillips. Well, I hope it's going.
Just send it to me in the Zoom chat if you can. If not, I'll get it from my
Let's see.
phone if I have to. I think my it might be blocking it. I don't know why, but I got a different phone now, so it's probably giving me issues. Hold on. I'm gonna send you a message so you can send me one back.
Okay.
All right, see if you get that one.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Now send me back the link you were trying to send.
Okay.
It's showing that you didn't even get it yet on my end. Weird. Oh, there
Yeah.
it goes. Now it's showing that. Okay, I got it. All right, cool.
There you
Let
go.
me just copy this and send it to myself in Signal, and then we'll bring it up on the computer.
Yeah, apparently that's something that's breaking news that happened since we began this, or right around the time we were beginning this discussion. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's Fox News coverage of what's going on.
Okay, okay, okay. Let's go ahead and let me get it up here on the screen, and then I'll start the screen share and we'll play it. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, let me get rid of these little freaking pop-up controls on the screen. There we go.
This is a
Still
dark
running
day
across
for
the
our
room.
state. It's a tragic day for our nation. And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination. Charlie Kirk was first and foremost a husband and a dad to two young children. He was also very much politically involved, and that's why he was here on campus. Charlie believed in the power of free speech and debate to shape ideas and to persuade people. Historically, our university campuses in this nation and here in the state of Utah have been the place where truth and ideas are formulated and debated. And that's what he does. He comes on college campuses and he debates. That is foundational to the formation of our country, to our most basic constitutional rights. And when someone takes the life of a person because of their ideas or their ideals, then that very constitutional foundation is threatened. Now, we have a person of interest in custody. The investigation is ongoing. But I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
Words, you guys? Any comments?
Man. Godspeed those people that are searching for that person of interest. I hope they have the right one. If they don't, I have every confidence they will find the person that did this. And may they be held fully accountable to the fullest extent of the law for this horrible crime.
Yeah, sorry, I was just asking ChatGPT if the killer's been apprehended or not, and so I'm looking for updates on that right now. Didn't Luann say something about somebody being apprehended in
That's what
addition
she
to that
sent me.
first guy that was not the guy?
That's what she sent me.
Bringing Radon to she was at the event right now. She's
Oh, it looks like he's still on the loose.
Radon, I
Wow.
hope I'm pronouncing your name right.
As of tonight, September 10th. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up for our viewers here.
So I was clear up at the front. So they have like the tent set up for where Charlie was going to be, and then they have like the cattle break set up with a walkway, the for the people that were going to debate him. And then I was.
As of tonight, September 10th, 2025 Pacific time, Utah authorities say no suspect is in custody for the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Two people who were detained for questioning were released, and the manhunt for the shooter is ongoing. So he's still on the loose, dude. He can hurt other people. We have to be extremely, extremely vigilant. I'm worried for other people.
Yeah. No kidding, because someone who will do this is a hunter, and they have no compunction about taking human life.
Any thoughts, Angie? Unmute yourself.
So who's next? Who's on their list?
That's a good question. This is one of the many reasons why I use a pen name, folks, because I'm in fear for my family constantly, especially when I started speaking out about the freaking jibby jabs. You know, I didn't want my family to become a target. I didn't want my mother to become a target. I didn't want my sister to become a target. Didn't want other members of my family to become a target. Didn't want members of my family on the East Coast to become a target because I have a huge, huge family on the East Coast. A big, big family, a very, very extensive, extended family. And I love every last one of them. They're my family, you know? But we cannot allow this kind of injustice to go unaccounted for. We must have transparency and accountability, and this has to be addressed. We need to fucking find this catcher or this killer and catch this motherfucker.
It seems like he didn't really have a clue that anything was wrong like that, because it didn't seem like there was any extra security around him, like they had any hints to something happening like this. It
You know,
almost
the crazy
seems,
thing,
like they didn't
I've
know.
heard some people saying that there was, and that people were concerned for his security. I heard that there were concerns. I don't know how true that is, but I heard that there were concerns. I had heard that from some people. I don't know how true it is, but I had heard some people say that, and so that makes me think what happened not last July, but the July before that, with what happened to Trump and how much of a close call he had with the Secret Service detail. I mean, it reminds me of that in a lot of ways.
Just
So
that
yeah,
setup reminds me of that, like, the
yeah.
way the area was set up.
Oh yeah, that too. Let's let's get into our next story, which is the high school shooting in Colorado. That's in your guys' neck of the wood. Is that not right, Robin?
Yes. Yes.
How close is that to you guys? I mean, you're in Aurora, Colorado, right? So you guys got a firsthand. You guys are got a front row seat to that whole Tren de Agua department takeover back months ago, and now you're getting a freaking close up to this as well. How close is it to you guys in miles?
Evergreen. I'm not sure. Hey Siri, how close is Evergreen? 45 miles. It's about an hour away, a little less.
Okay, yeah, that's like if I were to drive to the outskirts of Vegas, or from one end of Vegas to the other, take about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So it's about okay.
Yeah, it's
All right, we're gonna play the first report from that,
Hold on.
and then
I got a point to make.
oh,
It's
go ahead, go
kind
ahead.
of curious that they're doing all that this is happening right before Trump is trying to pass that CCW for all 50 states, that carrying the sealed weapons thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I don't
I
know.
didn't even know about that. That I had no idea about that. I didn't even realize that that was something he'd been pushing. Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're getting
definitely.
ready
There's
trying
there's
to pass
definitely got
that.
to be a connection. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense that they would use it because look at how they're trying to spin it. Oh, it's the guns. It's the guns. You know what, motherfuckers? Guns are a fucking tool. People kill people. Okay, guns are a tool, and if you take away law-abiding American citizens, the First Amendment right or Second Amendment right, I'm sorry, you don't. People are still going to get weapons on the freaking black market. It happens all the fucking time, and so what is that going to do? You know,
arm all the
shall
criminals
not be
be
infringed.
and take all the weapons away from the citizens that are often the ones that stop shooters. Mass shootings are when mass shootings are halted, oftentimes it's by private citizens with guns.
Well, that's the only way to get complete control over us is to take our guns from us.
Right.
Or that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It would be a violation of the Constitution.
That's a very interesting point, Dottie, that this assassination of a right-wing pillar happens just as Trump is trying to get guns.
It seems like this kind of thing happens all the time when they try to do anything with the guns.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's true. I think that there is a narrative that is pushed forward that we need to disarm the population to see to it that these kind of things happen, and it is trotted out every time there's a shooting, and I've heard it repeatedly over and over and over. I mean, there was the Aurora shooter at the movie theater some years back. There, this
I remember hearing
kind of
about
thing
that.
happens in Colorado more than many places, and it's terrible. I mean, and and Aurora has this very peculiar law when it comes to Tren de Aragua. Tren de Aragua announced, they apparently themselves announced that their national headquarters is in Aurora, Colorado. And so this this Venezuelan gang has set up its national headquarters in Aurora, Colorado. Well, to those that aren't in the know, let me fill you in. In Aurora, Colorado, these illegal multinationals that are here illegally that are part of this particular gang and other criminal elements, when they are arrested by the police, which they are all the time because they're doing crimes, when they are arrested by the police, they are brought to the jail, they're booked in, and then they go before a judge who releases them, because that has been the policy of the powers that set up the laws here in Aurora. And apparently Denver is similar, but I know that this is the case in Aurora because I talk to people who are in the know in Aurora, and these guys just walk out of the jail free. They're not charged with crimes. They're not held. They're just set free after they're arrested. And because my contact on the police force sees the same people coming back week after week after week for the new crimes that they've done. This week they've been arrested again, and now they're back in jail, and then
Yeah,
they're
I had no idea that that's what catch and release meant. A
that's
lot of us were
what it
deceived. We
is.
had no idea they were just releasing them back out of the community, not even charging them or
No,
holding
there's
them for
no
fucking life.
charging.
Which
There's
is
no
bullshit. Why would
holding.
you release people that have committed violent, heinous acts of crime onto the streets again simply because they're not freaking documented? That's insane.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
fucking insane.
It's insane. It is absolutely insane. So we're talking about a governmental entity in this state of Colorado that is insane. This is not sane. This doesn't make rational sense at all. It's
No.
absolute
It
mad.
flies in the face
But
of rational thinking.
but I can tell you, it is the fact of what's going on in the state.
All right, let's play the video for the next story. But you're absolutely right. I agree 100%. Sorry, folks, I'm smoking on camera. Don't mind me. I'm a little tense right now.
Will be our first report on the shooting at Evergreen High School. The call came in at 12:24 today that we had an active shooter at the school. There are so many jurisdictions up here, I can't name them, but it's like the metro area just responded. We have 3 people who have been transported to the hospital. Don't know conditions on any of them yet. Hopefully we'll have that for you shortly. People that are injured are students. Yes.
There's a huge emergency response I noticed coming into town. What are you telling people who are seeing that worried right now?
I understand the worry and the concern. Like I said, the entire metro area came up here to help. A lot of them self-deployed, and we sure appreciate it because you don't know what you have until you get here. But there's got to be over 100. For sure, over 100, maybe a couple hundred cops here right now. We're still in the process of clearing the school, and we're doing that with multiple teams inside, room by room, and that just takes time.
I'm going to segue right into this video so we can get this out the way and then we'll talk about it.
Have been injured here at Evergreen High School, and one of the students that is critically injured is we now know that 3 students have been injured here at Evergreen High School, and one of the students that is critically injured is the shooter. So again, 3 students in total injured at Evergreen High School at this school shooting. One of them is the school shooter. We're told that all 3 of those kids are in critical condition, getting treatment right now at St. Anthony's Hospital, which is the closest level 1 trauma center to Evergreen High School here. You can still see several hours after the shooting, there's a ton of police officers, giant scene. We've seen now that the FBI has arrived here. Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Unit is also here. The U.S. Marshals have arrived here, and then pretty much every law enforcement agency from across the Denver metro area has descended on Evergreen High School right now. But again, that new information coming out just in the last couple of minutes is that the 3 students are critically injured, and one of those students at the hospital with critical injuries is the suspected shooter.
Okay, comments, folks.
Oh man.
Definitely, there's always a school shooting right before they do anything with the guns.
Seems to sure be a pattern, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. It sure does. And you know what?
I mean, if we took some time and investigated into that, I'm sure we could find the pattern.
It's
I think we should. I think if we don't, we're going to end up having some. If we don't speak out and get to the bottom of this, what's actually going on instead of the narrative, then we're not going to have a country much longer. Because we need accountability. We demand fucking accountability for these fucking politicians, these judges who are obviously bought and paid for by the freaking cartels. For anybody that has 2 fucking brain cells they can put together to think. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out.
Well, it depends.
And
on
our own government, elements of our own government are freaking bought and paid for. And a lot of us have known this for a very fucking long time. The whole MAGA movement is about exposing the globalist fucking agenda. Most people don't realize that because we've all been smeared as freaking racist and freaking homophobes and shit like that. But that's actually very far from the truth if you actually sit down and watch any videos and actually get to know the motherfucking people of this movement. And actually do your due diligence instead of deciding to be ignorant and start spewing all this freaking slander and defamation against not just freaking Trump, but all of us. We should sue the pants up to every last one of these motherfuckers. And we win.
that's
So
what
imagine if we were to do a class action, Angie, against each one of the influencers that has been freaking slandering and defaming, not only Trump but many in our movement. What do you think of that? I think it put a stop to it real quick.
What was the question?
What do you think about if all of us that were, in MAGA that were getting smeared by all these people on the left that are freaking perpetuating a freaking false narrative? We all sue them in a class action. Every last fucking one of them.
Well, you always got to hit them where their money is.
That's the only way it's going to work.
That might shut them up, make them stop.
I think it's an effective strategy. I think we should start looking into that. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I want fucking justice. I want every last person that's been complicit in this, whether it be incitement or otherwise, held to account under the law. To the furthest extent of the law and fullest.
People have to know their rights first to be able to do that.
Well, many of us in the MAGA movement do, but if we do this in mass, that might be something worth considering. I think we should look into it.
Okay.
Just a thought.
I think it's a worthy idea, but I also have to recognize and acknowledge that you're that it's a created narrative, and it's created and these are what I think it was Karl Marx called useful idiots.
That's a perfect term for it, because basically that's what we're seeing.
Because basically they're
it's this. It's basically I'm just gonna motion la 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 la. That's what it is.
yeah. Their minds are, the whole thing of mind manipulation and mind control is something that has been highly researched, and that we all know about the projects of the Manchurian Candidate, where they make where they basically robotize a person, and then they can manipulate them to do whatever they want. And there's been a lot written about that, and that's a very deep rabbit hole, where what was the government program that was dedicated
MK Ultra.
Yeah, MK Ultra. Yeah, MK Ultra. Well, it wasn't just about creating mind manipulated soldiers. It was learning how to manipulate the minds of everyone. And we see the fruit of it in politics today, with bought and paid for protests, with media that hammers away at a narrative. Doesn't have to be any truth to it at all. Himmler, who was the propaganda minister for Himmler, said that if you tell a lie often enough and loud enough, people will believe it. And that is what we have seen. Well, first of all, with the whole COVID, that was just a pack of lies. There was a huge pack of lies. It was a Department of Defense project.
Oh yeah, absolutely it was.
That sought the sponsorship of vaccine makers, but they didn't develop the vaccines. The Department of Defense did, and they used Pfizer and Moderna and to put their label on it, so that they could create a distance from the fact that it was a Department of Defense project that was designed for Department of Defense objectives. Well, that's acts of war. That's what the Department of Defense is all about, is war on the people.
You know what occurred to me? Maybe that's why Trump renamed it to the Department of War again, because it's a more accurate description as to what they did after during that whole time period,
No kidding.
They declared war on freaking populace of the earth and upon the American citizens, but not just the American citizens. Every nation on earth, every sovereign nation on earth they declared war. This was biological warfare.
Right.
Okay.
All right. And that
was a calculated, intentful move, forethought of malice who harm people, knowing these vaccines were not fully safe, knowing they didn't have the proper testing, knowing they were fudging the numbers. And my mother
knowing
was a
that they
victim
were
of it.
knowing that they were suppressing effective treatment so that they could push the vaccine narrative and the vaccines, knowing all of these things, that this whole thing was a mind op as much as anything else. This was the fruits of the MK Ultra program, where they learned how to manipulate what people think. And the best way to manipulate how someone thinks is make them fearful. If they're afraid, then you shut off the rational
Yeah,
thinking mind. The
yep,
rational thinking mind shuts down. You are in a
it does.
fight, flight, or freeze mode. The individual can't think because they're responding in a the limbic system takes over, the limbic brain takes over, and that's the brain that allowed us to survive all these hundreds of thousands or millions of years. And that is the brain that learned fight, flight, or freeze. And so we go into that mode where we're not thinking, we're reacting to the situation. And that's why it's such an effective thing, which is why they pushed so hard to terrify everyone. And look at the fruit. They got families divided. They got people telling their family members, don't come to the family reunion because you haven't taken this shot. Or, it just horrifying, just horrifying the way that this mind control is being used today. And now we see that the left has been so brainwashed by what has been put forward that you have individuals that are celebrating when someone who disagrees with their point of view is killed. It's a sickness and an illness that has been designed and arranged and pushed into the minds of the populace. This is my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's get some thoughts from you, Dottie, and then we'll look for a follow up on ChatGPT with the Colorado shooting, and then we'll wrap
I've
up
said
the
my piece.
show.
I've said my piece.
Yeah, you guys want to say some prayers maybe for Charlie Kirk's family? I think that would be appropriate. I know I would like to do that. Let's do
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that real quick, folks, for a minute, and then we'll wrap up this live. I don't want to be on here too long. This is very very freaking sad and tragic, and I think we all need to take a minute or the rest of the night off and unwind and try and gather our sense of composure and go from there. So let's begin. Dear Lord, please look out for Charlie Kirk's family and his two daughters and his friends and family. Look out for Trump. Look out for Vance. Look out for everybody in the MAGA movement, but also look out for everybody else that's on the left, because I think it's important that we demonstrate compassion and not let this escalate while still adhering to the ideals of justice and accountability under the law. Let's not let this divide our country. Let's expose this for what it is so we can all be free once and for all and rid ourselves of this freaking absolute corruption within our governmental system and society. Amen.
Dear God, let this be a clarion call that goes out not only to those that supported and believed in what Charlie Kirk was doing, but to those that opposed him, but also have a conscience and realize that what happened was wrong. Let it be a clarion call that awakens us to the need for civil dialogue, for being able to speak with one another without hostility and hatred ruling the day and ruling our minds. Please heal our nation of the divide, of the rift that has been caused by the powers that are causing those things. Set us free from this and let this be a catalyst which helps to do that. Bless Charlie Kirk, wherever he may be. Bless his family, that they may be comforted in their hour of loss. And bless those that are also injured and wounded by the presence in our society of the kind of people that do these things, and the presence in our society of the acceptance and celebration of this kind of activity. Heal us, oh God. Reach into our hearts and our minds and heal us of these diseases of the heart and mind that lead to this kind of thing, and set our nation free from the domination of those demons that would move against the Christian right and those who stand up for what they honestly and truly believe. Amen.
Amen. Angie, you want to say a prayer?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well, she can do it silently for us then. All right, folks. We thank you for watching, and please follow and comment and like if you would if you are so inclined. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate everybody that's been watching on the live. We're at actually this is pretty. I think this is a record for our X. We're at 95 live viewers, and I got a following of about 153. So that's a pretty good ratio, I'd say. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.